To me, this is lip service. To me, this means nothing. Okay, let's start over. Google is releasing 53 new gender-neutral emojis. They're initially rolling out to Google's Pixel phones. I don't care. That's fine. I have no problem using whichever emoji. But let's be honest. These aren't really gender-neutral emojis. They're just people with different haircuts. It's the craziest thing. I just made a video talking about the morality spectrum, care, harm, loyalty, sanctity, authority, etc. And this is another example of the left being primarily concerned with fairness. Because if you actually objectively look at this, you just made a bunch of different haircuts, dude. These are not gender neutral. Although, these all here are all male bodies. Like presumably male bodies, right? Because females have different secondary sexual characteristics. This could be a dude. They could all be dudes. In fact, they could technically all be females. I guess that's the point of making it gender neutral, I guess. But let's read what they say. And we got. Oh, don't worry. There's more than this. There's more than this. Google is working on a new set of gender fluid. Is it what? Really? They said gender fluid emojis that consist of 53 non-binary characters. The new emoji are neither male or female, instead opting for a third gender neutral option for those who identify as neither. Is a smiley face gender neutral? It is. Like, smiley faces don't have gender. The emoji are rolling out to Pixel phones this week, but will eventually come to all devices running Android Q. Google designers spent a lot of time deciding what exactly a genderless emoji would look like. And the hair seemed to be the most important factor. Oh my god! In order to bridge the gap between male and female, just cut your hair! Oh, dear lord. It went with a hairstyle which parts the hair to the side with longer hair in the back. What? How is this gender neutral? That's just a haircut. I know tons of men and women who both have the same haircut. I know dudes with long hair. I know chicks with short hair. It's just hair. It's the weirdest argument. I have no idea. It doesn't even make sense what they're doing. So the question I have, which we'll get to in a second, is they're adding these, but are they going to get rid of the white supremacist emojis? Are they going to get rid of the okay, frog, and milk? Because those are emojis. They're adding all of these social justice emojis. What's this green person? This seems racist. Is that a zombie? They gave the zombie different hair, and they gave him orange shirts, like purple, teal, and orange. That's gender neutral. There are also some other small changes for certain characters. For example, the vampire character distinguished itself with a chain instead of a bow tie. Oh my god. Found on the male version. While the mer person adorns an orange color and crosses their arms to cover their chest instead of having a seashell bra like the female version. I don't know if you find this silly like I do, but check this out. You've got a merman, a mer lady, and they made just a gender neutral with arms crossed because maybe it does have breasts. Like, what? There's no nipples on the dude. You didn't have to have it crossing its arms. It's such silly nonsense. It's such political pandering. It makes no sense. And look, all of these could be male or female. Look, the male could be a female. Women don't have to have long hair. It's just so silly. Google collaborates with others on emoji standards. And Jennifer Daniel is not the only director of Android emojis, but she also sits on the Unicode consortium that sets emoji standards. Seriously? This makes it more likely we'll see Apple and others join up and release its own version of genderless emoji at some point down the road. In other words, while the new emoji won't be very accessible to everyone right now, Google has gotten the ball rolling for others to follow suit. Once the new emoji have been released, if you send one to a device or app that's unsupported, it will be converted to a male or female gender until other companies release gender fluid emojis as well. When it comes to emojis, no matter how inclusive Google's own set might be, it takes everyone getting on the same page where they can be available. I want to make a point about something. Men and women both have nipples. Why should this emoji be covering theirs with their arms crossed? Seriously, somebody had a meeting and said, why don't we just make a mer person with weird hair? And they said, and what are their arms doing? Just like normal, but we can't show female nipples. That's a good point. What do you do? And what if they have breasts or don't have breasts? Just have them cross their arms. Now they're no longer gendered. It's so silly. People have biological sex. This isn't a symbol of the absurdity of the gender fluidity argument. Because I understand the concept about social norms. Like, they took the bow tie off the vampire and gave it a gold chain. Okay, sure. But all humans have nipples. And the problem here is it really gender fluid or neutral simply because you're not showing whether it has breasts or not? No, like, seriously. It's a mer person who's hiding the fact they may or may not have breasts. So that could be male or female. But now to the bigger question, okay? I saw this article when I was researching this, and I thought it was hilarious, and I definitely need to do something about it. I made a video earlier. I said that we live in hell because NBC News blurred the OK emoji. There is an article on Dig. Is it still okay to use the OK hand emoji? Well, if you're even asking the question. The other issue is, why? Why isn't Google getting rid of this, or the frog, or the milk? Because those are all apparently racist symbols. Let's read a little bit of this. I've never been much of an OK. They made the OK sign. An OK sign user. This article, written by Dig, is rife with white supremacy hand gestures, both in real life, yada yada. Okay. Well, the OK hand sign began to have associations with Trump supporters as early as 2015. Its perception as a hate symbol has grown over the past 2 years, to the extent that when Zena Bash, a clerk of Brett Kavanaugh's, appeared to make the OK sign with her hands during a judge's confirmation hearing last month, interpretations that Bash was making a white power gesture went viral on the internet, when actually she was just resting her hand with her hand like I can't really see it, but it was like that. And they according to Brad Kim, head of Know Your Meme, the hand sign now has multiple connotations. In addition to its original meaning of OK, there are those that employ it as a dog whistle for alt-right affiliation. That's it. Absolutely not true. Absolutely not true. That is a myth from the left. Anybody, including white supremacists who do this, they're doing it to trigger you. Period. There's quite literally no person who does it knowing or assuming it means white power. Just not true. Now, I don't want to be so absolute. There's probably a couple people. But the point is, this is a weird insinuation. No, they're actually doing it. No, they're not. It's a Trump supporter thing. And now it's just a trolling the left thing. Even for the crazy people, it just means trolling the left. Okay, so let's get to the question. They talk about the raised fist. They talk about praying. Ooh, can you pray? I want to know when appropriations become problematic. This is a ridiculously long. Oh my God, look at this. This person actually wrote all of this about the OK hand emoji. These people are insane. Let's read it. So what about the OK emoji, a symbol that is currently undergoing fluctuations in connotations? When the co-option of a certain symbol is still fairly recent and ongoing, the Anti-Defamation League, for instance, still hasn't incorporated the OK gesture into its hate symbol database. Well, NBC News blurred it. Should we err on the side of caution and avoid emojis like OK that might attract controversy? Or should we assume the stance of websites like Emojipedia and use it consciously and proactively? It is a difficult question. And not everyone I talk to is in agreement with what to do with the sign. This is the world these people live in. They want mer people who cross their arms so you can't see their nipples because maybe it's male or female. And they also have they have meetings over whether or not you can use an emoji that's on every phone. We do live in hell. This is just everything's falling apart. Why should I be optimistic when their idea of making gender neutral emojis is quite literally just giving them haircuts? You know what? I could change this article to say Google is releasing 53 new haircuts. Seriously, like this right here, just a haircut, and they made it orange. That's so silly, man. God damn. Mark Pitkevich, an extremist expert at the ADL, says that the tricky issue about the OK hand sign is the more attention we devote to it, the more we're strengthening the trolling usages of the sign. I get it. All right, what's their conclusion here? It's difficult, however, to foresee the symbol's future. Perhaps in a few months, the hullabaloo surrounding the sign will dissipate and the alt-right will find a new symbol to troll liberals and promote its ideologies. It's just as equally likely that the sign's negative associations will reach a point of no return and become as politically fraught as Pepe. It's hard to say at this point, and it's not. That's the thing about Pepe, too. If you go on Reddit you'll see a ton of wholesome memes with Pepe. It is not. These people are nuts. They actually believe that internet culture is like Nazism. It's the craziest thing. I would say it's best to exercise your discretion when it comes to the sign. But maybe now it's not the time to lose our faith just yet. Not when there's still an element of ambiguity attached to the gesture, and that for me at least sounds okay. Whoa! Dropped a white power hand gesture in the article. Pang Che Ho, what are you doing? I think it's fair to point out everyone's nuts, and I don't care what you do. I am so over all of this stupid nonsense. I got one more video coming up in a few minutes. I'll see you.